Hi guys, ro-shaun here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. It's another daily reports today, and we are summarising the transfer window, the summer 2021 transfer window for Doncaster Rovers Football Club. Look at all the ins, look at all the outs, look back on the deadline day shambles and share my overall thoughts and my overall rating on this transfer window. So before we get started, guys, please like the video if you've loved it, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe if you are new around here, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video, and let's get straight into this one. Let's start with the outs this season. So this season we've got rid of quite a few players once again this window. First of all, retiring is the 17-18-year club servant James Coppinger. Of course, one of the legends, always will be a legend of Doncaster Rovers Football Club, and one of the best, biggest legends in English football in general. You know, however people may think about that statement, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest Football League legends of all time, one of the greatest English football legends of all time, because of his stats, the things he's won, the games he's played, the years he's played at the same club. He's a legend in my eyes in English football and always will be at all divisions. Reece James went on a free to Blackpool, one of the standouts of a quite tumultuous end to this last season. He's got to play in the Championship with Blackpool. Brad Halliday moved to Fleetwood for free. He picked up an injury just recently, so it looks like he's out for quite a long time. So we'll see what happens with him there. Excuse me. And again. Andy Butler has gone to non-league Boston United. He's also set-piece coach at Peterborough. So best of luck to Butler. Of course, he's still managing the Doncaster Bells. Ian Hawler is on a free at Dundee FC, the Scottish club. So good luck to Ian Hawler. Not been in the first team scenario for quite a while, so the move makes sense. Also, Danny Amos, Magic Gomez and Jason Lakilo were released. Joe Wright, I believe, is on reduced terms at the moment, or has been offered reduced terms while he rehabilitates his injury. I've got a sneaky feeling we may sign him up in January on a reduced contract for those last couple of months, just in case we need him in the defence. But apart from that, it doesn't look like he's going to be staying at all. It's just reduced terms to keep him on, to help him rehabilitate throughout his injury. So that situation with Joe Wright will become clearer later on. But the outs, there's some big outs in there. A couple of players that were part of the first team and first team picture, at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of them were part of that first team picture week in, week out. A couple of them were involved at certain times, and a couple of players just weren't involved at all. Now, let's go into the ins this season. So first up, Ben Close, of course, the Brian Stock type midfielder that we've been looking for and the kind of criteria that we're going with. Carl Noyle, who's proved to be brilliant so far at right back, brought in from Cambridge United, was in the League 2 Team of the Year last season, was Cambridge were promoted. ro-shaun Williams comes in from Shrewsbury Town, all of them on free transfers, those 3. Tommy Rowe, another free transfer, returns to the club from Bristol City, a club legend from a few years back, a previous playing legend at the club in the modern day over the last few years, so great to see him back. Of course, he's been great so far. Johnny Hawler, of course, injured at the moment, brought in on a free from Portsmouth, a former wonder kid of Manchester City in the past. Hopefully getting back to his best as soon as possible. And of course, Aidan Barlow brought in on a free. He was a free agent, previously played for Manchester United, loaned out to Norway in that period. And of course, Dan Gardner brought in for free from Wigan. 2 players who I think will kick on later on, hopefully. For now, it's been a very mixed start for those 2 players. Next up, the season-long loans. We brought in 5, which was the limit that Gavin Baldwin set for this season, so at least we haven't broken that particular promise and gone over that limit. But Matt Smith comes in from Arsenal, a good assist king for Arsenal, and probably one of Arsenal's best players in or out of that squad at the moment, with how rubbish Arsenal are at the moment. So a bit of a shock to Arsenal fans there, but no, Matt Smith's been a good player in that midfield, and hopefully that continues. Thiago Chaker on a season-long loan from Watford. Again, he's someone that I think could do quite well. At the minute, it's not been kicking on as much, no real chances created going his way. Feels quite isolated at times, but hopefully that is just going to come with experience. He does get bullied quite a bit by the experienced centre-backs of the league, so hopefully that will change, and hopefully he does put the goals in as soon as possible. Next up, probably one of my standout players of the transfer window for us so far, and that is the season-long loanee Watford goalkeeper Pontus Dalberg. Pontus, apart from that Accrington mistake, has been world-class in my opinion. He's been one of the players that's kept it from being cricket scores week in, week out. He's been in the way, making world-class saves, preventing the goals from going in, and he's been a wonderful player in my eyes for the club. Ethan Galbraith on a season-long loan from Manchester United. Again, a playmaking genius and an absolute baller. Again, one of the best out of a bad bunch at the moment. And then on deadline day, Rodrigo Vilca from Newcastle United. All of them season-long loans, by the way. But Vilca, we're going to reserve judgment, see how he plays, and let's hope he can kick on as soon as possible. So that is your ins and outs at the club. Obviously, we've had some other pieces of business going on. New contracts for the likes of Bottomley, Ravenhill, Taylor, many others as well. Lyric Asani's been loaned out to Matlock Town. Ben Bottomley's been loaned out to Frickley Athletic, so good luck there. And yeah, so some other little bits of business here and there. The main, I guess, sort of talking point from the end of the window was the deadline day shambles. That's my headline, deadline day shambles. So to put it in a bit of a summary, I guess, at the start of the deadline day, it was pretty much going to be Will Grigg and a secondary player who was a target from the start of the window. I believe he was set to join a championship club, and then that fell through, and then we couldn't get it done in time. So basically, Will Grigg and this loanee. Now, there was a highly rated Premier League prospect. It wasn't the one we signed that was fitting the criteria at the moment, but I believe it was someone else that we were going to sign who had been chasing since the start of the window. Now, obviously, we've ended up at the moment with no striker. We're looking at the free agency. They've said that we're hopefully going to wrap one up next week or start next week from the free agency, possibly two for the striker department, which I'll believe it when I see it. Excuse me. And obviously, we know how the deal went through. We were in for Grigg. We've been in for him reportedly for weeks. We had alternatives. Kenneth Zahore, Danny Hilton, Carl Joseph and Tom Eaves were named. Aidan O'Brien was another one later on at the 11th hour. But Grigg joined Rotherham. Aidan O'Brien paperwork didn't get through in time. Ron paperwork sent over. Eaves still at Hull as far as I know. Carl Joseph's on loan at Cheltenham now. Zahore still at West Brom. And Hilton still at Luton. So we missed out on the alternatives, the main targets, the 11th hour targets, and just got someone else completely out of left field in on deadline day. And in my opinion, it wasn't good enough. In my opinion, it wasn't good enough in 18 Dapper's opinion, anyone else's opinions. And, even people that were supporting the ball, we went in for them. Absolutely went in for them in the politest way possible. So we're going through a period right now where it's very tough. We don't know what's happening at the club at the moment. Obviously, you've seen the video from the meeting, the first round-the-table meeting with a few people. There should be some more details from the media in a few days' time, a more in-depth look at what Gavin Tack's going to say about the situation right now. A few things I agree with from the first meeting, a couple of things I disagreed with. So I'm going to hold off judgment and see what happens. But in terms of the transfer window in general, what was the remit at the start? It was bring in a core group of players to build around so we don't have to get 15 out and 15 in every season. Have we done that? To an extent, yes. The injuries to the attack, we didn't expect that, and then we just failed in creating a proper planning process to get the attackers in as soon as possible. We held off of funds that were magically there, and we just didn't get the deals done. So, again, there's a lot of things the board have to answer for, in my opinion. A lot of things that have to be answered for off the field. We've got the core group in, but what we needed was a striker. It was very evident from the start of pre-season when the attacker started to get injured, we had the COVID situation, we needed a striker and the budget was there. The funds didn't magically appear from left field. The budget was always there, in my opinion. The whole thing about the 11th hour during deadline day, the funds are just magically there. Yes, they couldn't move Bogle on. Yes, they couldn't move Ed Williams on. And we heard from the Free Press just recently today that there was no fresh offers for Bogle. There was an offer from the National League North, reportedly, for Ed Williams. But again, that didn't happen. So again, excuse me. Nothing for Bogle, nothing for Williams, but in my opinion, the board should have still given the funds despite Bogle and Williams being sold, because then you could have put that money back into the budget for January or whatever if we could get the deals done, but we didn't. A lot of things need to be answered for, but in terms of the core group of players, we've got them in. So overall, I'm going to give this transfer window a 6 out of 10. I think that's a very middle of the road rating. On the one hand, we've got a core group of players now. On the other hand, we should have done more than what we were doing. So there we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, I'm Aaron Chandler from Forever Football, DRFC, keep on the Rovers life, and that, my friends, full time. Rovers till I die. Thank you very much. Let's hope for what we can in January's transfer window next. Rovers!